welcome back. This is the Curious Stitches podcast, and I am coming to you from Exeter, which is in the southwest of England. And this video is going to be two parts. So I'll put them up separately because otherwise it's going to be very long. And it is my future wish list of things that I want to be making. I started talking about it in my last video, and then I decided to edit that out and just do separate videos. So I have pulled together from my knitting pattern library and my Ravelry queue and purchased a few patterns, and these are 20 patterns that I want to make over the course of 2024 and 2025, however long it takes to get me through them. So I will show 10 this part in part 1 and then 10 in part 2. So if you're here for that, great. Okay, so I changed my way of thinking about it. Instead of it being a queue or you know, a to-do list or a to work on list, to a wish list, because I want to both enjoy the knitting of it and the product itself, be it a jumper or socks or whatever, instead of it just being, right, I want to knit this and then I want to knit this. I want to enjoy the process as much as the finished object. But these are all items that I wish I had in my wardrobe, and that I wish for Abby, my partner, and Neve, my youngest daughter, to have. And then there are other projects like socks, just vanilla socks that I make for my family, you know, my other daughters as well, that are not in this 20 list. But yeah, so I'm going to try and show them sort of in the order I want to make them, but TBD. Okay, so let's get on. Number 1 on my wish list to make is the Dark Academia jumper by Sharon Hartley. And I bought this when it came out. I didn't do the testicle for this. I sort of said, I don't have time right now, but I want to make it as soon as it comes out. So I bought the pattern on day of release, and it's fingering weight, and it's absolutely stunning. And then I ordered from my friend Ross, who is the We Knitting Company, some of his Bonnie BFL sock in the Superwash BFL. So this is my main colour. So I've got, he dyed me 3 skeins. Isn't it perfect? So Ball Queen is just perfect, absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. So this is going to be the main colour. And then I have swatched with this yarn before. I started using this for another jumper and it was just too thin and it wasn't working. So this is going to be my contrast. So yes, so this is going to be the stained glass window type architecture within it. So if I put those down and do this, you'll be able to see. Isn't it beautiful? So this is project number 1. This is getting started this week. I just need to wind the yarn off. I'm sorry, Joey's barking. A lorry just went past and he could hear it. It threatened his very existence. Also, if you hear clawing or meowing, I've got my cat Bertie in here. He has to be on bed rest because he's waiting to go to the vet. So anyway, yes, so I will tag you Ross and Sharon. And then obviously I'll be sharing this as I make them on Instagram and on my Ravelry page. Okay, so number 2, I am torn between 2 patterns. The first is the Rumble Raglan by Lydia Morrow, who is What Lydia Made, and the second is the Pagan Sky by Zanete Knits. I'm tempted to go with the Pagan Sky just because colours. So, as you know, I did a poll on Instagram for this particular one. We'll just have to ignore Joey. I'm sorry, he's going a bit senile. So this is the Pagan Sky by Zanete Knits. She has a YouTube channel, which I'll link down below, and on Instagram and things. So I asked whether I should knit this contrast with the burnt orange or the caramel, and you guys chose burnt orange by, I think it was 78%. So that's what I'm doing. So the pattern itself calls for DK weight yarn. Now this is sport weight, and it's the Irie Corriedale Sparkles, and this is from mywoolmitten Farm, but it's lofty enough and squishy enough that I will be able to use this as the contrast in the colour work, no problems. And I need 215 meters of that, and there are, let me just double check, 212. Well, 3 meters. I'm hoping that it's down to the percentage that they put in for various ease. And then the main colour, it needs 830 meters. This is just for my size. Now I have 1200 meters of fingering weight yarn, but I'm going to give it a go and see. I shall swatch. I'll be very good. And if not, I can dye up a second batch of this colourway, because it's one of my own colourways. That's why it's just loosey-goosey. This is for me. I don't bother to make it all pretty if it's just for my stash. I shall dye up another lot and hold it double. So I'll have 800 meters-ish. But yeah, isn't it beautiful? So let's show you again. So it's going to be this. Ta-da. So that is for the Pagan Skies. Now, as soon as I saw this pattern, I had to have it. Absolutely stunning. Well done, Zanete. It's just gorgeous. Right. Okay, so number 3 is, like I said, the Rumble Raglan by Lydia. So What Lydia Made, which is this one. Now she redid the sizing of it, adding in bust shaping and adding, I think it was a size below and a size above. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm not wrong. So I'm knitting the size 2, which is a full bust of 34.25 will fit. Now I have a 31.5, 32 inch full bust. My underbust is 31, so there's very little difference. So although she did the cup shaping, I'm not going to be doing any cup shaping. It's just not worth it for the itty bitty difference. So I'm going to be doing the 3 colour version, which there is a beautiful photo example of here, but I need to cover up the chart. So there we go. So this is the triple colour version, and it's absolutely stunning. Now, my friend Alan, who is AM for Luna on Instagram, was one of the test knitters and fell in love with your version, Alan. So the 3 colours that I'm using are 2 are my hand dyed and 1 is Wollmeise. I can never remember the first part of it. I just remember it's Wollmeise. So I have this one, so that there is 540 meters. It's a 150 gram cake. So this is going to be my colour 1. And then I have my the Sisters of Mercy on Merino singles as colour 2. And then I have some Spellbound as colour 3. So this is going to be my version. This is also on Merino singles. And oh, I can't wait to have this made. It's going to look absolutely stunning. See if I can hook my finger in there. Yes, there we go. So yeah, this is going to be the Rumble Raglan. So go down and follow the link for her Instagram. I will try to link everything on Instagram and Ravelry, just because if you can't use Ravelry and they sell their patterns elsewhere, it'll be in their Instagram profile, so that you don't miss out on these patterns because they're glorious. So yes, I'm very excited about this one. This one is going to be perfect for summer. Nice, breathable. So that is number 3. Okay, so moving on is number 4. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 Joji patterns. But the first one of her patterns that I want to knit, that I've had since they're released, because I love everything that Joji does. I think there's only 3 or 4 of her patterns that I don't own, and that's like the individual patterns. I've got several of the interpretations and things like that, but it is the Hipster Cowl. This is my kind of cowl, people. It's kind of grungy, kind of forest witchy, and I love it. So this is knit using, I think it's DK weight. I did write it down, but I am going to be using, or is it worsted? But I'm going to be using aran weight, because this is Creative Melange Aran Wonderball, and you get 640 meters. Now I don't need 640 meters. It's 200 gram ball, but some bits of it are sort of a DK weight, and then you've got other bits which are definitely more of an aran weight. But then you've got other bits like this which are maybe a fingering. Pushing it, if it is a fingering, it might even be a lightweight fingering. So I figured it would be perfect. So this is project number 4. So I will link Joji down below, but I will only link her once in each video because she's in both videos. And then number 5, I am making for Abby the Midnight Mischief socks, and these are by Caitlin Grace. Now I bought these when they came out because both Abby and I love the soul pattern on them. It's a spider web with a little spider. Aren't they fun? Now personally, I've had a bit of a complete shift in what I like, what I will wear, and skulls are no longer part of that in any form. Nothing spooky. So for these I'm using the darker colour of the Yule sock set that I dyed up as the background colour. I'm using the Spellbound on Merino Nylon for the green, and then I'm using some deep old stash, Sara's Texture Craft in the Orchid colourway. It is that pale for the skulls and bats and things. So there we go. Let's try and hold all that together. Ta-da! I've been wanted it very similar to the actual picture, so I had to stash dye for these. So I do have blue yarn, I just don't use it for myself. So there we go. So that is project number 5. I plan on knitting those up for her after I have finished doing the hashtag I Love Books and Sock Knitting Cowl run by Denise. Okay, so number 6 is another Hohi pattern, and it's the Instant Crush pullover, and yes, love it so much. So in no particular order, oh, I've dropped this again. In no particular order, I'll show you the yarns that I'll be using. Haven't figured out which colour's which yet. I need to double check the yardage amounts, and this might change slightly. But okay, so I have my brown sugar colourway, which is on Merino Nylon. It's caked up ready. I have my Deep Forest, which is also Merino Nylon. So some of them are DK, some of them are fingering weight, some of them are sport weight, some of them are lace weight. But the way I hold them, you know, so the fingering weight one will be held double, etc. So then we've got this one. And then my other precious is the Cross Country Corriedale and Thin from Carrie. And this is 240 yards. And it's a 3-ply, 75% Corriedale from Kimberly and Neve, which my daughter's names, and 25% Finwool from Nina. So this is going to this precious, and this is going to be another very special heirloomy piece. I'm hoping that my daughters, one of them, will want this jumper eventually. So that is colour number 3. Colour number 4 is some Malabrigo Mecha in the Pocion colourway, and it's this beauty. And this is my yarn that I'm using to pull all the other colours together. And then my final colour for this one is this beauty, which is my Suri, baby Suri silk in the Forest Witch colourway. So I will hold up the colours and you will see there is a definite so do it that way round and then that way round. So that will be held single, double, single, single, double. And I've got more of the Suri silk if I need it, or I can just dye up some more. The only one that is throwing me off a little bit is the brown sugar. But I think because it's in here, you can see that'll look absolutely stunning. So this, just, yes. The only thing I might do is swap. I might not swap the burnt sugar and this one. What I might do is swap out this one for a richer colour, because this one's very cool tone, whereas the rest are quite warm tone. But I don't know, it might be a really nice contrast. So that is that one. Okay, so that is 6. So number 7 is another Hohi pattern, Joji Locatelli. And this is her brand new Evanescence shawl, not shawl, cardigan. It's a long cardigan with lace on it. Brilliant name. Love the band as well. Anyway, There we go. Now in Hohies, she uses a gradient set that 6 skeins, and she uses them held double various ways throughout the jumper as a gradient. I'm doing mine all one colour. So many years ago, I bought Fyberspates Scrumptious. It's got to be at least 10 years ago. So I bought some Fyberspates Scrumptious lace that Isolde Teague she did a few colourways. And this is wine gum. So I've got 2 skeins of this, which is 2,000 metres. And then I've got another 6 skeins of this. So I'm going to be holding these together. So it'll be lovely and floaty and light. And it's just going to be a gorgeous number to throw on in the summer or autumn, or, well, all year round. Be it for warmth or just coziness. So yes, that is that one. Okay, so next up is down there. So I'm just gonna have a shift around and then I'll come back. Okay, so number 8 for my wish list to make is the Elf Mail. And that is by Danny Miga. I don't want to say it wrong, I'm sorry. So I'm going to knit the long sleeve version. Now, I actually bought this pattern by accident. My friend Michelle was knitting it, and I couldn't remember what it was called. And then another one of my friends, Kat, was knitting something that I also thought was this. It wasn't. It was the sea glass pullover. But all I could remember was the texture and the colours. So I bought this one and then realised I wanted to buy the sea glass pullover. So I have now bought the sea glass pullover, but I'm going to knit this one first. So this is the Elf Mail. And my main colour, for my size, I need 530 metres. And then the contrast, I need 413 metres. So my main colour is some Rivenet's BFL in the Mermaid colourway. There we go. And I'll be using black as the other colour. So the black will really make all these colours pop. And because I only need 530 metres of this, it means there's still 270 metres, which is enough to make Abby a pair of socks too. So it's a win-win. I have a lot of black finger weight yarn. I just thought one ball would do. So there we go. Elf Mail. And again, I will link designer and Ravelry down below, and the yarn dyers. If they're not my hand dyed yarns, I will link them down below as well. Okay, so next up, just put that down. Number 8 is the Nurtured Pullover by Andrea Mowry, who is Drea Renee Knits. I didn't print this one out in colour. And I am finally going to use up some yarn that I've had in stash now since Abby and I got together, because I bought 2 sweater quantities and let her pick which one she wanted. So this is the one that I have. I have 7 skeins of this, and it's the Malabrigo Rios in Sandstorm. And it's absolutely perfect. I love this so much. So this is going to be this. Now, I'm fully aware through experience of using this that it basically, the garment doubles in size, but if you tumble dry it on a low heat, half an hour, let it cool down again, half an hour, etc., it shrinks without felting. So that is what I'll be doing with this. I don't mind if it gets a bit bigger, if the sleeves are a bit too long, etc., because that's fine, it'll just be cozy. So yes, this is number 9 on my wish list. And then number 10 is the Shadow Ridge shawl by Lisa Much. Now this was another, I saw it, I needed it. I have, or had, masses of shawl patterns. I think I had about 40 alone from Boo Knits. And I've knit a lot of them, but I'm not in that style. I don't want pretty lacy anymore. This is much more my thing. So for this one, I don't want to use white. That'll be too much of a contrast for me. But I've only got 2 of the colours picked out so far. I'm hoping that I will be able to use half balls and things. But so far, for colour 1, I've got this one, which is just black and brown. And then that's not my hand-dyed. And then this one is Apocalypse. I think it's called Apocalypse. And that was one of my older colourways. And I knit a cropped top out of it that you've seen me wear on here before. And it's sort of browns and rusts and it's a violet and things in there. So these are my first 2 colours. And I want it to be earthy and naturey. So yeah, which is why this is number 10, because it gives me effectively, I'm going to say, a year to figure out what my other 3 colours are going to be. So yes, that is my first 10 projects that I want to create. What did you think? Are there any of them that you want to knit? If there are, let me know, and I will sort of, we can have like mini cowls as I go through these things, you know, if you want to join in as well. Just for funsies, you know, not prizes or anything else, just funsies. You know, friends knitting together. So yes, so I hope you enjoyed part 1. I'm going to have a cup of tea and then come back and record part 2. So if you want to watch the next one straight away, great, just skip to the next video. If not, I will see you all again soon. Take care, bye.